Dang, for real?
Welcome to the FFL Weekly, your one stop for all things fantasy football. Only here will you find expert analysis, magnificent takes, and in-depth reviews that will leave you wanting more. Join us on the season-long quest to find out who will be crowned the next FFL champion. Now, here are your hosts, Mark AT9 and Power Surge 55.
All right, welcome in week 15 playoffs.
Oh.
Love it. If you're in the chat, say hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Looks like we got one person in the chat right now. If not, another week down, and we have made it to the playoffs. So congratulations to those teams that made it. A little anticlimactic with some of those close scenarios we reviewed last week. If you take a look at the recap here, not much. I mean, Mike, unfortunately, just ran into some really bad luck again with that collusion trade. Captain B Shields, welcome in. Appreciate you coming. Team Horrible Trade. Feisty Asian, welcome in. Thank you. Nate, tried to put up a little bit of battle against Scott. Didn't really happen there. And then poor Dash, he needed to win. Unfortunately, if any consolation to Dash, it wouldn't have mattered if he won. He still would have missed out. Just Chase. Close call there for Brandon. Was able to pull it out by a point.
Yeah, how nice of Brandon to do that for Alex.
Yeah, I mean, Alex would have ended up at 7-7. I think it would have been a close call with those points there. I think he would have overtook the first loser seed, maybe, depending on what ended up with. He would have been 7-7, and Doc Rob would be 7-7. I think Alex would have won the point differential there, so he would have got $5, I guess. But Brandon cost him $5, so tough to see for Alex. He'll battle back next year. He lost his boy Allen. That really crippled him this year. And Allen, obviously, a huge difference maker. We'll get into that drama later.
Yeah, definitely.
As you'll see. Jess with another big win against Kevin. I don't know if Kevin, maybe some collusion there. Sat some rosters. Kevin Walker out.
This was a special investigation.
I don't think it would have mattered, though, so we'll let it slide. Jess had a great game, 112 points. I mean, it's hard to beat that. She needed Adam to lose and or score less than her by about 20 points, I think it was, or 15 but Adam actually scored almost identical to Jess, and he ended up winning as well against Andrew. Andrew put out a roster, He fielded the team.
Yeah. There is no favoritism in the matchup here.
Yeah, no family favoritism for sure between these two, unlike Kevin and Jess. But Rob would have ended up beating Ross and getting in, but instead Ross gets the win by 2 points and gets the tiebreaker with the points overall. So congrats to Ross. Might be the weakest team. We kind of had a discussion today, but all that matters is you get in, and who knows what could happen. So hate to see it from Rob. I mean, epic collapse down the stretch. I'll start with that trade. I think he was like 6-1 or 6-2, and we'll get into that here in a minute. I mean, investigations ongoing for sure.
Yeah, multiple investigations.
So with that, we'll jump down to real quick. We'll go to the challenges, Adam. We'll take a look at those real quick.
Okay.
We'll close that out for the season. This was a great series. I think we introduced here in FFL season 14. I think we're going to keep it going. Kevin Bruchaver, welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining. I like this. It's only $5. I know it kind of split up the payout by weekly high scores, but I thought this was fun.
I definitely kept it interesting.
Yeah, it kept it interesting for everyone, including me, who sucked ass this year. So, let us know in the chat if you'd like to go on to do this again next year. So, week 14 was first loser. It's a team that just missed the playoffs. That ended up being Rob, first out, with the 7-7 record. He's the only team where 7-7 didn't make it this year. And then Ryan again, 150 points. We all know how he got to that total. So congratulations to those two players, $5 each. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Scott. Welcome to the chat. Thank you, Jess. Keep the challenge series for next year. I like it. And we'll I guess let's jump into it, Adam. Speaking of Ryan with the 150 points, it's kind of fitting that Rob was the first team out and Ryan had the most points this week, because that harpens all the way back to a week 7 trade between Rai and Doc Robber. And I apologize for the weak Excel effort here. This was last minute put together by me. But you can see in this trade, Ryan got Josh Allen, David Montgomery for Dak Prescott, Kareem Hunt, Deebo Samuel. At first glance, I thought it was kind of a bad trade. A lot of chat a lot of talk in the chat about how some people weren't sure if this trade was fair or not. Veto was not instituted this year. I think maybe we should institute it next year, just solely based alone on this trade.
Yeah, I mean, the entire roster is off roster. I was looking back at previous games that I had played, and the entire team off roster. It just makes me wonder what's going on here, truly, Trig.
Well, all I got to do is look at these numbers here and make you wonder what's going on. So I calculated what these players scored after the trade. And week 8, Allen, consistently 20s. He's the best quarterback in the game, sure. So 20s are expected for Allen. That's fine. And then all of a sudden, week 11, 25. Had the bye week 12, sure. 28, week 13. And ridiculous. That 28 also, remember, got him that random play there that got him a win over Scott. But actually, Scott, we did the analysis. It actually didn't matter. That loss you had there. You guys both would still be facing each other this week in the playoffs. So I'm glad that happened, because that was a crazy win there. And then this is just preposterous. 52 points here in week 14. It didn't matter. I think Ryan still won comfortably with only like 20 points. But crazy to see that. Obviously, it would have been huge for Rob. And then you go down to Montgomery, just himself, steady weeks in the teens. He only had 1 week under 10, 9.6, 1 week over 21, consistently around 13, 14 points. And you can see here in the totals, 170, 96. And then the players Rob got in return. Dak Prescott, you can see even in the few weeks that he was available, sub-tier compared to Allen, 6-7 points less, 11 here. Then he got hurt.
Then he pulled a Burrow.
He pulled a Burrow, and he out the rest of the season. So even if he was there, I don't think he would have compared to Allen, on a level scale there, which is fine. You could argue that because Rob got 3 players in return. But as I pointed out during the trade, Kareem Hunt was only going to be good for a couple more weeks because Isaiah Pacheco was supposed to come back. And you can kind of see that here play out. He had two, maybe 3 good weeks. You know, he kind of spelled Montgomery there, so you can argue that was fair right there those first 3 weeks. But then Pacheco comes back, and the Chiefs institute other players, and boom, 6, 8.7. Look at week 13 and 14, just pathetic performances from Hunt. And then lastly,
and we knew he wasn't going to be on. I mean, as a full running back, RB1.
Right. And then lastly, Deebo Samuel. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this guy. He had 1 good week, week 6, I looked it up, and then week 7 he had a dud for 0, but Rob still pulled the trigger on that. So week 8 did okay, a bye, then another okay week, and then just fell off a cliff here the last 4 weeks of the season. And Rob played these players, I think, on his weekly roster almost every week. So obviously, huge effect on his output and reason he kind of fell off from 6-1, I think, to 7-7, and out of the playoffs. So you can look right here. Just quick recap: you add up all 3 players for Rob got he basically got Montgomery. He gave away Montgomery for 3 players essentially, and then Ryan got 170 points out of Josh Allen for nothing essentially. So crazy trade scenario here. Sanctions ongoing. We haven't decided what we're going to do here yet. Mark AT and Power Search 55. We still got to interview the owners and see what happens there.
Yeah.
Maybe some draft pick capital loss next season. We're still working through that, but as Feisty Agent said in the chat, I think we're going to institute the veto again next year. It's huge difference here in what happened this season. But congrats to Ryan on the trade. Obviously, it worked out well for him. He is in the playoffs now at the 4 seed and a powerhouse for sure. Any closing thoughts on that, Adam?
I mean, look, we're all trying to win here at the end of the day. So it's just preposterous to me that teams are selling out, even when they're division leaders, to other players. It's no secret that these players or that these teams are coming to the top of the league every year. It's because they, will continue to manipulate Ryan and just try to get their way. So I think that definitely the veto will be coming back next year, and it'll be coming back as enforced by the commissioner himself.
I love it. We'll certainly keep the league up to date on that as we go into next season and the stipulations around that. So that said, we'll jump into week 15, first playoffs, week 1. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm on the browser version of Sleeper, and it has less intuitive than the app on your phone, believe it or not. And I don't know why I can't see the playoff bracket here. I don't think it's there. I don't know what's going on. But if you look at your phone, you'll see the little playoff bracket set up, and we got it figured out. Now, that's a good point, actually. We'll jump back up to my little screenshot here, if you can see it on the right side of the screen. So here's the playoff bracket situation. First, 4 or 5. So we're going to keep the bracket. I know apparently we had an issue last season with it reseeding like the NFL does, but we will not reseed this year, so it's a bracket. So Brandon's the 1 seed. He'll be playing the winner of 4 and 5, which is, as you can see right here, Ryan and Scott. And then the 2 seed is Adam, who will be playing the winner of 3 versus 6, which is right here, Jess and Ross. So there'll be no reseeding. This is how it'll play out until the championship. So best of luck to the teams who made the playoffs. We'll jump into Toilet Bowl first. So Toilet Bowl, I did not make a screenshot of that, but the bye teams in the Toilet Bowl, you don't want the bye. The worst 2 teams get that, so because you want to win in the Toilet Bowl to get out of it, as we know. So Kevin and Nate got the byes in that. Nate had the same record as Andrew, but Andrew had more points for by. Over here. Points for by about 60 or so. So Andrew gets to play this week while Nate sits on the bench along with Kevin. In that matchup, Andrew gets to play the aforementioned Doc Rob, the 7 seed here, just missing the playoffs. So, this looks like a decent matchup. At the beginning of the season, a lot of these players, speaking of trades, were on the other team for Andrew. Andrew had Murray, Dowdle, Evans, Cooper, I think you should put Pittman and Kincaid in too, Rob, just so you have my team playing against me. And I had Hunt at one point. So just throw them all in there, Rob. I like me winning this one, Adam. I don't know about you, but maybe hopefully I can pull this one out even though I'm projected to lose and get out of the bracket here. Get out of the toilet bowl. I don't want to be the loser. So second game is Alex and Mike. Both just missed the playoffs as well, 6 and 8. Hate this tough break for those guys. I know they're great players. Captain B Shields, I don't want to play Scott or Ryan. Change it. I know Captain B Shields. We agree on the bracket version. I'm sorry. Luck of the draw. I think you got the bad side of it. Honestly, Adam got the easier side. We'll get into that. Burrow, he did great for Mike this year, and so did Hurts for Dash, considering he lost out on his boy Allen. So I like the I don't know. What do you like here, Adam? You with me still?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Alex doesn't have a kicker in right now, so I'm gonna go with we'll go with Burrow. He's got his lineup set up. He's got Jefferson. Vald Scanting. I don't know about that one. Alex is going with two receivers out of the Rams though, so that's a tough look. We'll go with Mike on this one.
Okay, I'd probably go with Alex because Jalen Hurts always. I saw a stat when Barkley goes down on the 1 yard line. It's happened 10 times this year, and every time he goes down the 1 yard line, Jalen Hurts takes it in for a touchdown. So that's some big points there.
Yeah, it happened to me last year. All right, so sorry, yeah, Feisty Asian Rude. I know, I'm sorry. If you look at the bracket here on the right, yeah. So Scott and Ryan both have some really hot teams right now. So does Brandon. I think on the bottom of the bracket, the other teams are solid, but I think they've been struggling the last few weeks. I mean, they both, Adam and Jess put up some 112s, 113s. Those are good looks. But Ryan 150, 103 from Scott, 125 from Brandon.
I mean, that's a Cinderella run from Ryan, though. I mean, come on. He's not going to put up 50 points.
Well, again, look, in week 13, 110, 121 from Brandon, 110 from Scott. He had that crazy loss. So these teams rolling in on the top of the bracket are hot. I mean, I think it's the better side of the bracket right now. That could change, anything could change here. It's the playoffs. So we'll see how it plays out. I think these are going to be good games. We'll start with Jeff Prost versus You're Not Worthy, and props to Scott for, I guess, not changing his name all season, but honestly, Xavier Worthy has not been that great for him this year. He's going to need him to pull out this season, or this game, to make a chance at Ryan. Jeff, their points are not sustainable.
Yeah,
that's fair.
This scare me.
Yeah, I mean, just on paper, I mean, these have been some of the 4 best running backs this season. These are just great matchups here. Smith Njigba has been really good the last few weeks for Scott. I tried to trade for him. He didn't want him. Slow start to the season you can see, but since that bye, well, even the Rams game, but that bye has been really good. They've been giving him the ball a lot more. So I think that's a good comparison to Lamb. Higgins, Flowers can blow up any game, but Higgins is very consistent. Judy's been great for Ryan since Winston came in. Again, Worthy is not, he's hit or miss. It really is. Nothing really too impressive the last 5 or 6 weeks out of him, except maybe that Buffalo game. So Scott may want to look at throwing someone else in there. Kraft and Bowers, again, both 2 really good tight ends this season. Interesting defensive matchups. This game might come down to kickers' defense, which you hate to see. But great team here. Great team. Ryan's got the projected to win. Again, with that, just having Josh Allen, he's got Detroit. It could be a shootout. Detroit's a good team. Purdy's going tomorrow night against the Rams. That's risky play. I hate seeing Thursday night games on playoffs. He's gonna need to start out strong. So I'm gonna give it to Ryan here. I hate to do it. Everyone thinks I'm a homer, but I think Ryan's got the better team in this one. It's going to be close, though. And then we'll
Definitely
jump
a
down.
fun one to watch.
What's that, Adam?
Definitely a fun one to watch.
Definitely
I
fun. Yes,
think
sir.
Ryan's performance depends on how good Fraud Allen does. So
Friday on. Well, speaking of Friday, we got Fraud Mahomes here for Ross. Ross, squeaked into the playoffs. Give him credit; he made it in. He sent me a chat today. I reached out to him, see how I felt about the playoffs. He said he's not sure if he wants to go with Mahomes. Mahomes is his boy. I drafted Mahomes for Ross way back in 2018. It's his last pick, and then he ended up making the playoffs for him back then. So I don't know if Ross can get rid of Mahomes on this. He's got to go with the playoff experience starting. But again, he's going up against Jackson. Huge advantage there for Jess. You give the slight edge on the running backs to Ross here. Barkley, Williams and Connor were great earlier in the season for Jess, but they have Williams had 21 last week and 17, so he's picked it back up. But he's had a little lull here. I did remember seeing that. So hopefully he can keep it going for Jess. And then Connor's again. He had a good game last week, but he had that lull as well there, 12 and 13. So I'll see a Swift on for Ross lately. Yeah, Swift's kind of cooled off after that hot middle section of the season. So he's going to need Swift to show up. Wide receivers, you got to give the edge to Jess. Although Ross has Nico down here. Fortunately for Ross, I think Wilson's now number 2 on the team against Aaron Rodgers' boy Devontae. So we'll need him to look that way. Jess is putting in my boy Brian Thomas again. He's been good the last few weeks. Nico obviously has been great, but since he got hurt, he's been in a little bit of a lull. So he's come back the last couple of weeks. You got to give the edge to Jess on wide receivers. Tight ends, even matchup, kickers, defense. He has a crapshoot. It's a close matchup. This looks like this might be the closer of the two games. I don't know. I'll give it to Jess. I'm gonna get shit from Ross. In the chat tomorrow at work, but Jess hasn't won a championship. Ross got one last year, so I like to keep things fresh. I like to keep the parity, as they say. But I know it's gonna be a close game.
I don't know.
And whoever wins this one will give Adam a run. The next week. So best of luck to those teams. This is exciting. It's a great season. A lot of good teams this season. A lot of bad teams. Yours truly here. Looking forward to next season. Of course, I'm out next season, though. So, with that said, anything else, Adam?
Sorry to those who didn't make it. I know what that's like. Being trolled by Trigger, being the worst team ever, but how the roles have reversed. Good luck to all the teams in the playoffs this season, including yours truly here. But good luck and have fun.
Well, we know who I'm rooting against here in the playoffs. Ross did predict me as a dark horse this year. That's very true, Jess. That's very, very keen of you to remember that from the beginning, the opening season show. Ross does mention that to me. He said he does like that he had picked you to be the dark horse, and Captain B Shields. Yeah, I would like to have you and Captain B Shields in the championship. That would be nice to see. You guys been long tenured owners in the league and haven't been seen the championship yet, so that would be sweet. Also worth noting, Captain B Shields' Adams projections for next week are over 100. Well, they're just projections, We'll see what happens next week. One final closing note: there is no challenges this week, so the challenges and top scoring is just.
We've run out of money. No more donations.
So no more money. You feel free to send donations just out on whim. It's the holiday season. We'll be more than happy to accept donations this holiday season. So, Scott, me as well. Projected over 100, Scott, or are you saying you haven't won a championship yet? Oh, sure.
He's still in he's trash.
Oh, well, it doesn't show. Or can you do that where I can go to... I don't freaking know. Anyway, best of luck to everyone this week. I'll be watching along. Hopefully there'll be some good games, Anything else?
Yeah,
Adam?
definitely.
All right. Ross predicted me to win. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. Okay, so Ross is, maybe that's some good luck charm then. If you win next year and you join the season intro show, that you can predict a couple of players to win and send some good karma their way. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining. I know it was kind of last minute. Really appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Best of luck to those teams. See ya.